Do you leave? That was the musical break. Hoping that you are blessed.
Yes.
We are back, and thank you so very much for your company. My name is George Kishuro.
And my name is Beatrice Nudi, and it's time for us to now have a look at the newspaper, see what is being reported.
Right.
And by the way, if you have any prayer requests, also don't hold it back. Anytime we will interrupt normal programming just to pray for you. So please do send us those prayer requests as well. So let's begin with the Daily Nation here, and I see U.S. damning report on Kenya's impunity. This is on the Daily Nation. A report by the U.S. Department of State has condemned Kenya's worsening human rights record, citing attacks on Kenya Kwanza administration's critics, particularly during the last year's bloody anti-government protest. In fact, it is last year and this year.
Yeah.
Because they were both very bloody and we lost lots and lots of lives. But this is a story that has been covered extensively, and more on the same, saying extrajudicial killings rights groups alleged authorities significantly underestimated the number of unlawful killings by security forces. That is true. The number we see is nothing compared to the real numbers. Disappearance and abductions. The Defenders Coalition reported 105 human rights activists who were abducted or reported missing. Of course, we have torture. Police and prisons officials reportedly used torture during interrogations and to punish pre-trial detainees. I mean, some people died even in police custody, which is so unfortunate. We also see transnational repression, kidnap of Ugandan activists, including opposition leader Kizza Besigye, and forced transfer to Uganda. So those are some of the violations that have been highlighted, and this is a harsh verdict set to escalate tensions between Nairobi and also Washington. So, you know, we may think that these things were forgotten, but no, we still continue to seek justice on such cases that have happened before and even now. The jackpot here is saying how Clark bagged 424 million cash prize. So Bonnie Kamau had routine day processing booking tickets in a transport firm until a call interrupted his schedule and dramatically transformed him into a multi-millionaire. You gotta look at that story on page 3 and ask him what are his ways. But I see also Ruto steps up attack on bribe-taking lawmakers. So this is a story also covered on the Daily Nation, saying President William Ruto has called out Parliament and the judiciary, terming them as the weakest link in the fight against corruption, accusing the former of being involved in a bribe-soliciting spree instead of performing its oversight role. This is quite interesting. Parliament and the judiciary amesema hawa ndio wanaleta corruption hii nchi yetu. In a scathing attack on Parliament, the head of state said parliamentary committees have turned into extortion rings, demanding bribes from witnesses who appear before them in order to write favorable reports. This is a story covered on pages 6 and 7. Gigi, you seem to have something to say.
No, sina maoni.
Una maoni leo.
Sina maoni. You know, for me, I had it yesterday and I was like, this is the same person who has been saying that everything that he wants passed in Parliament will pass without even a comma or a full stop. You know, whereas that house, that is the National Assembly, is supposed to look at the welfare of the nation, the welfare, looking at the interest of the nation, the interest of the mwananchi, not the interest of the government. Because whatever the government brings on board is not necessarily for the people.
True.
But now the legislators are the ones who are representing the people. And so they are supposed to look at everything. But now, this parliament and the previous one, actually, if you ask me, from 2013, the caliber of members of parliament and the National Assembly, and of course this one is my own judgment, For me, it's wanting. From legislation to oversight, for me, it's a below par performance. It has become a house of transactions, as is being said, as opposed to looking at the interests. Because look at some of these, so many things that have gone through that house. You actually wonder, did they even read? Did they even understand what they were passing? Because they later come and say, I didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? You are elected by the people to go and represent them there. But then you are like, oh, I don't know how this one, oh, I was not in the house. Then you are abdicating your role as a representative of the people in that house. And so it's also a wake-up call to Kenyans in terms of who are you voting for? Are you voting for that person because he comes from your own tribe? Is it because he gave you some small amounts of money? When he goes there, that's why they are demanding, according to the president, for bribes, because they need to recoup their money. They made an investment, and so they need
the return.
Exactly.
Wow. That's the state of our nation, literally. Now, I also see another story covered on the back page, how Harambee Stars could qualify for knockouts today. So Kenya could secure a 2024 CHAN quarter-final berth today without kicking the ball if the two Group A fixtures end in a draw. This is covered on the back page. So still more opportunities for them to bag millions. And lastly, Pumwani to pay woman 7.5 million shillings for botched delivery, dead baby, and lost uterus. Eesh.
Nothing can repay or compensate for that pain. No amount.
Lost uterus. Sad.
All right, the Standard, they go with the headline, "No thank you, Ruto." The picture there of President Ruto and 4 other people, and they say rejection from Ghana to Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. President Ruto's dream jobs keep getting dumped. In just 2 years, 9 high-profile nominees have walked away from plum positions offered by the president, from ambassadorial seats to commission chairmanships. The string of rejections has fueled claims of sloppy vetting, fear of association over dwindling fortunes, tone-deaf gender picks, and advisors asleep at the wheel, leaving the head of state embarrassed and scrambling for replacements. It's a story that is on page 4. And those who said no to state jobs, the latest was revealed yesterday, and this was Duncan Ojwang. He had been nominated to the chairman, to be the chairman of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, and he was to be vetted by Parliament. But he sent a letter to the Speaker indicating that he respectfully declined to take over the position, citing personal reasons and also conflict of interest. And so he became the latest. The other was Millicent Omanga, had been nominated for the Nairobi River Commission position. Margaret Nyambura Ndongo had been nominated to be the Ghana Kenya's ambassador to Ghana. And then Timothy Bosire had been nominated to the NTSA and declined. Read that story. It's on page number 4. I also see Kanja in the soup over police payroll and protests. It's a story that you can get on page number 9. And then in other stories, no ticket to Sunday's match. Watch the game at these 6 fan zones. And so the Football Kenya Federation has created some fan zones to avoid a repeat of what we saw on Sunday. Are we trading human connection for AI comfort? That is the question they are asking here. And then in as far as today being a Thursday, relationships as well. So allow me to focus on this. What should I never compromise in love? So that's a story that is also covered there. And parenting without a village. Where did all the aunties and uncles go?
By the way, squeeze tuko kivyetu vyetu yani.
But imagine, hakuna aunties, you uncle. What happened?
Yeah,
so they are asking, parenting without a village. Where did all the aunties and uncles go? Because I remember them days you would be told, go talk to your auntie, talk to your uncle, or even before you're even sent, they would in you know, those get-togethers. They would talk to you.
Yeah.
They would ask you those questions. And
they were so concerned.
They were so concerned.
Part and parcel of your parenting.
They don't even know their uncles. Who ni uncle, who ni auntie.
Some don't even know you gave birth.
Yeah, by the way, they have no idea. They have no idea.
Wanasikia tu haya.
Yeah.
Really happened.
Yeah. So that's the story that also you can get there. Some sports news. CAF slaps different countries with fines of over 12 million shillings over CHAN 2024. Fair ruling or too harsh. And of course, Kenya has been slapped with a slightly over 6 million shillings fine for what transpired on Sunday. And then devolution at crossroads. Counties struggle with dependency and graft. And then the pullout this morning, real estate pullout, how one player could take over Kenya's cement market. That is on page 26. And lessons Kenya can take from Azerbaijan. That's a focus. And then what the real estate market misses. Read that inside the Standard newspaper. And finally, to the Business Daily, and they say puzzle as farm changes owners before mega medical contract. Caring International is one of companies picked for the deal. Tycoons and rich foreign investors eyed lucrative tender. And then I see here Newspapaer in 777 million shillings tax fight with KRA warns of job losses. And that's a story also that you can get inside the Business Daily. And a founder's true work is not just building a company, but leaving behind a culture that breeds without them. That is Michael Masharia. Read that article on page 9 inside the Business Daily, and get to see what's being reported.
Yes, and that's the newspaper review. We've highlighted some of the things that have been given preeminence on our newspapers this morning. You can definitely grab a copy of your favorite, but also tune in to Hope FM, where at the top of every hour we bring you news fresh as they happen. Right here on Hope TV as well. Dear at 7 p.m., 9 p.m. we have News Watch, so you can keep in touch and know what is happening in our nation and also beyond. So now let's have a look at the video of the day.